This our third talk segment. Now, the first references to Saint Blaise are found in the manuscript writings of Aetius Amidus, a court physician. This is circa the late 5th century to early 6th century AD. Now, Aetius invokes Saint Blaise when he wants his aid in treating afflictions of the throat. Saint Blaise, his shrine, is also mentioned in the writings of Marco Polo. Blaise had a shrine in Sebastia near the Citadel Mount. Sadly, this shrine no longer exists. And there's also a book, The Acts of Saint Blaise, which is written in medieval Greek. This is around 800 AD. The book gives Blaise great sanctity and the ability to perform many, many miracles. Now, Blaise, according to legend, was born of rich and noble Roman parents, and he receives a Christian education. Blaise enters the church and is eventually made bishop at a very young age. He has a reputation as a great healer, and people come from all over the Roman Empire for his cure of both bodily and spiritual ills. Now, in 316 AD, the governor of Cappadocia in Lesser Armenia begins an intense Christian persecution under the orders of the Eastern Emperor Licinius. We talked a little bit about Licinius in the last talk segment. Blaise is instructed by God to retire to a cave, and he quickly withdraws under this divine direction to a cavern in the mountains that is frequented by wild beasts, and essentially he becomes a hermit. Now, according to legend, the birds bring him food, and these wild animals from the region come to him to be healed and blessed. Now, the sick or injured animals come to him for cures from his healing hands. Along the way, Blaise preaches and works many signs and wonders, i.e. miracles. Eventually, the Roman officials hear of his activities and seek him out. They send soldiers to arrest him and bring him before the governor/prefect. Now, there's a variation in some tellings of the legend. In this variation, hunters who have been sent to secure wild animals for the arena find the saint surrounded by wild beasts, and though they are greatly impressed, they seize him and take him to the governor, Agricolas. Either way, Blaise is captured and marched off to meet his fate or destiny. Now, along the way, a fishbone is stuck in a child's throat, and, the young boy is dying. He cannot breathe. Saint Blaise tells the boy's mother to have faith in the Lord, and places his hand upon the boy's throat and heals him. Let any who seek God's help in my name receive good health, says Blaise. Another miracle happens en route to meet the governor. An old woman tells the saint that a wolf has run off with her pig. Blaise tells her that the pig will soon be returned to her. To the surprise of everyone, the carnivorous and ravenous wolf returns the pig. The wolf has the pig clutched in its mouth and gently drops the pig at the foot of the old woman. Blaise finally reaches the governor, Agricolas, and when he refuses to bow down to the Roman idols, Blaise is brutally beaten. Blaise calls his captors and tormentors fools. Do you all hope that your punishments will take away my love of God from me? I have God inside me, he tells the prefect, to give my soul strength. Blaise is scourged and deprived of food and put in a dark and gloomy prison cell. Now, while he's in the cell, the poor old woman whose pig he had recovered visits him. She has cooked the pig and also brings Blaise 2 candles and some bread. Blaise tells the old woman that every year offer a candle in the church in my name, and all will be well for you, and those who do the same. You will all receive my blessing. So Saint Blaise, at this point, still refuses to sacrifice to the emperor and the Roman gods. So he is tortured with iron rakes. His skin is flayed off his bones. The iron rakes tear at his flesh. Now, according to legend, 7 women followed Saint Blaise back to his cell and collected his blood in copper pans. The 7 women are caught and arrested by the Roman authorities. They also refuse to bow down to the emperor and the Roman gods. They are mercilessly tortured, but bear their pain in silent dignity. Milk flows from their bodies, from their tortured and torn bodies, instead of blood. They are then thrown into a furnace, but the flames are miraculously extinguished. Finally, the governor Agricolaus sentences them to be beheaded. Once more, Blaise is brought before the Roman prefect. Blaise tells the Roman governor that he does not fear his threats or punishments, and tells him, I turn my body over to you completely. God will soon receive my soul, and I will soon enter into paradise and eternal life. Agricolaus, the Roman prefect, orders that Blaise be thrown into a lake. But Blaise makes the sign of the cross over the waters, and it becomes like dry land under him. He actually walks on the water. He tells the Romans, if your gods are true gods, then show their power by walking on the water as I have just done. Well, according to the legend, 65 men drown trying to walk on the water, trying to do what Blaise has done. Well, a luminous angel appears and tells Saint Blaise to come out from the lake in order to receive his crown of martyrdom that God has prepared for him. And Blaise walks calmly to his fate, decapitation. Even as I lose my head, says the saint, let any who suffer sickness of the throat be healed by my intercession. To this very day, in Catholic churches all over the world, crossed candles are used to bless the throats of the faithful on his feast day, February 3rd. The throat cure has been invoked for many, many centuries. This divine blessing and ceremony that arose with it is linked to the old woman of legend who brings him candles, who brings Blaise candles while he is in prison. And it's linked to the book from the 8th century, the Acts of St. Blaise. 2 candles in the ceremony are consecrated by a priest with a prayer. He then holds the candles in a crossed position over the head or throat of the faithful. The throat is touched by the 2 candles as the priest makes the sign of the cross. Saint Blaise is one of the 14 helpers, and became very popular during the Middle Ages. His cult spread all over Europe, especially during the 11th to 12th centuries. He became very, very popular in Croatia and Great Britain. Now, in art, Blaise is usually shown inside a cave with wild beasts, holding 2 candles in his hand. Saint Blaise in the Middle Ages was adopted by the wool trade, and he becomes the patron saint of wool workers. The instrument of his torture, of his torment, the steel combs that tear at his flesh, closely resemble the wool combs used by the wool workers. All right, with that thought, we're going to take another musical break. When we return, we're going to examine the legend of Saint